Do you want to talk to your friends about topics you enjoy and get paid for it? Then download Anchor. Anchor allows you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or computer and get paid for it. They will distribute your podcast for you through one click of a button to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with minimum listenership. An app like this should cost money, but it's free. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Hey, welcome back to Straight to the Wickets. My name is Nash.
My name is Akhilesh, and we're back with another episode. Mostly focused on the NBA, I guess.
Yeah, free agency is going on, so...
Should we start with that?
Yeah.
You want to start with a few of the signings. So let's talk about that.
All right.
So, I found it interesting because you know how Montrezl Harrell, he has Rich Paul as an agent?
Yeah.
And you know the connection I'm going to make here. And Rich Paul's basically LeBron's boy.
Yeah.
A man that is self-made to an extent, but also has been elevated to his platform through LeBron.
Yes.
I find it interesting how, because Montrezl Harrell, they were saying more money than what he got. People were like $20 million per year.
Oh, no, he definitely deserved more money than what he took.
I don't think he's that good as people put him, but...
You're telling me the sixth man of the year? Okay. You're telling me the sixth man of the year deserves only $10 million.
I don't think he deserves like 20 million or something, like 25 million.
I think he's above 16 for sure.
I would say like a 15 to 18 million dollar player.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's a sixth man. There's a reason he's on the bench when their centers have Vaka Zubac. He's not backing up an all-star. So there's an extent to where you have to consider that part too.
I think the concept of a six man can be misunderstood. Like, it doesn't have to be that he's backing up somebody. Maybe he just comes off better he just works better off the bench, or he just performs better off the bench when he sees how the game is going or something like that. But I digress.
No, that's true. Actually, I get that. I feel like my opponent's wrong. I just don't think that he's as good as they like to say he is. You know what I mean?
That's fair. He's overrated, is what you're saying.
I feel like he's a bit. I feel like his value is inflated a bit due to partially his great partnership with Lou Williams.
Yeah.
I feel like he's more dependent on that more than Lou Williams is dependent on that relationship, and it's
yeah, totally agree.
To where if he goes to another team, especially one without Lou Williams-esque player, actually Dennis Schroeder's going to be quite good with him, but it'll be interesting to see that.
Yeah.
Also, I think he's starting now.
Is he?
They don't have a center.
They have enough spacing to start him, so.
What?
They have enough spacing to start him on the.
They don't have spacing on that team.
Do they not? I think they do.
They got rid of older shooters.
All right. Then they don't have enough spacing.
Avery Bradley. They don't have spacing on that team. They just said screw spacing. We'll just attack the bucket.
Attack the paint. Yeah.
I think he's a starting center unless JaVale McGee is. But yeah. I feel like it's interesting how much he took.
I don't know. I don't know why he only took $10 million a year. I think he deserved at least $5 to $6 million more.
Yeah, I would say that. I think it has to do with that connection.
Yeah, I think it definitely has to do with the Clutch Sports connection with it.
Clutch Sports, Rich Paul connection. Clutch Sports.
Yeah.
But I think most people say, oh, well, it's COVID and everything, and it's like, no one's going to get that as much as they should. But
it's totally false, man. Have you looked at
exactly.
Have you looked how overpaid people are this year?
It was very much inflated.
Like, Danilo Gallinari is not a $20 million player.
He's a $20 million player, in my opinion. Danilo Gallinari.
I think he's a $15 million player, not 20.
Didn't you just say Montrezl Harrell's a $16 million player?
Yeah.
So are you telling me that...
I think they're both around the same exact value. I think they're both comparable players.
Danielle
And then
Gallinari
you look
is...
at Gordon Hayward getting $30 million a year.
Wait, no. Danielle Gallinari is above Montrezl Harrell's level.
They're about the same player.
They're about the same player. Danielle Gallinari can create a shot for himself. He's a better scorer. He's a better three-point shooter. Okay. What is it? Let's look at his stats. From three-point percentage, his three-point percentage was 40.5% on 7 three-pointers this year. That's a shooter. That's a shooter if I know one.
I found the situation with him odd though. He said he wants to compete, and then he takes a $62 million contract from the Hawks, which is understandable. I would rather have $62 million in a ring than a chance at a ring, not a ring.
But are they out of contention? I mean, they
were a really good team this year. They look really good.
But wait. First, I want to tackle this.
Good they look.
I want to tackle this issue first. I want to tackle it because I feel like saying him and Montrezl Harrell on the same level is just no. I think he's the 6th highest on the catch and shoot threes this year. That means he's a great option for not only just he can make his own bucket, that's proven, but he can also play off that catch and shoot, which someone like LeBron or whatever would love. Doesn't turn the ball over that much. He's an okay defender. I think people just try to hate on his defense, but his defense, but he's an alright defender, and he makes his free throws.
I'm just saying they're comparable players. I'm not saying that one is much worse than the other or one is much better. I'm saying they're around the same market value.
I think there's 5 or 6 million more to Danielle Gallinari.
I don't know. I feel like you're overrating him, but
I'm just saying a 6'10" guy that can shoot at a high clip and create his own bucket and play good defense.
He's also 32 years old. He can't play good defense.
He can play all right defense. It's not like he's not a bad defender, but he's not like a Kawhi Leonard.
He's a mediocre at best defender.
He's a mediocre right now defender. But then,
fair.
No, I'm not gonna say this one.
Right.
Yeah. But, oh wait, what were you gonna say?
I think in general, players are getting so overpaid this year. I think it's because of the weak free agent class. This free agent class is not strong.
Yeah, it's similar to another free agent class. But it's interesting because that one had more money coming in. They upped the cap space when it was that 2014 one or whatever.
I think so. Yeah.
I think also to that point. I wanted to hold this till later, but we'll talk about them later. But overall, I think this is part of the reason why the Heat are not spending as much, because I think Pat Riley's going to be a bit more careful in this type of situation. When you deal with when you make that big of a mistake, you're kind of going to be a bit more cautious.
Pat Riley's not going to do the same thing he did in 2016. That is for sure.
2016. Yeah, he's not. Yeah, I don't think he's going to try to make those. He doesn't want to make those mistakes again. He's not worried about being embarrassed. He just doesn't want to do that to the team.
I think this free agency class doesn't have any really big names that you can go for. Next year, however, is extremely stacked. There's a lot of big names coming in next year.
But how much is stacked is just going to be re-signed?
That's a whole nother thing that can. We never know if a player's going to re-sign or not. So I hold off on that. But it's a very, very big, good class that's coming in next year.
Some guys have made good deals. It's nice to see Derrick Jones getting a good deal.
Yeah, I'm happy for Derrick Jones Jr. He got a very good deal with the
Trailblazers.
Blazers, yeah.
Yeah, that's been interesting. What is it? KCP's returning to the Lakers.
I don't know if we have this planned, but I just wanted to say the Mavericks are making some very good moves.
Who are they taking?
They got Josh Richardson.
Oh yeah, that's facts.
They got James Johnson.
To protect Luka.
To step on. Hold on.
He won't step on. He's a black belt. He'll do other stuff.
James Johnson is honestly his career resume is extremely impressive.
Outside of basketball or just basketball?
Like in total, like he's an NBA player. He has a 28-0 record in MMA, professional MMA. He's a third-degree black belt. He's like well-rounded. I mean, he also has domestic violence charges against him. But
Okay, that's interesting. But okay. I will say this: there's some inflated contracts. I think there is still some good contracts that are being given out.
I 100% agree. I just think that there's a lot of them that are extremely inflated because of the weak free agents class.
I would say yeah. From the jump, it was like that, but I think slowly it's been like they've started them with money dwindling. Marcus Morris's contract, I feel like he deserves it, but like
Davis Bertans got $80 million.
for how many years?
I think it was a 4-year deal.
4-year, 80 million. That's interesting.
5-year, 80 million. Sorry, 5-year deal.
80 million though.
Yeah, 80 million.
He might be around that.
I mean, Gordon Hayward got a $30 million deal.
Yeah, that's inflated as hell.
Fred VanVleet got a 20-something million deal.
But does he deserve it?
I think it's fair to give him a 20 million.
I would say it's fair to give it to him.
But that's a lot of money. Derek Favors got a.
But he's still a good player.
Fred VanVleet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
He's like, I know like Kawhi led them, but he was still a good player then. He's still a good player now. It's not like a one-off in that playoffs.
Rodney Hood's getting $10.5 million a year.
Wait, who were you gonna say after?
I was gonna say.
Fred VanVleet and then who?
I was gonna say Derek Favors got a $9 million deal. Myers Leonard got a $9 million a year. Yeah,
okay, wait. Derek Favors is a bit underrated for his defense.
I also agree with you, but
I think he does deserve that actually.
Mason Plumlee got a 3-year, $25 million.
Wait, I want to wait. I have a question though actually. Wait, Derek Favors, how many years is that?
Derek Favors' deal is. What did I say it was? It was
9 million, 1 year.
$27 million for 3 years.
That's an alright deal. Wait, depending on his age.
He's 20.
Yeah, his age. Yeah, that's a great deal.
I don't know about great, but it's a solid deal. He's 29 years old.
His defense with the Pelicans, like 29 to 32 is a prime age for players. So that's when you go up and then you go back. Now he's gonna start going to his recession of playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna be honest here. I don't think the Bucks did a great job in free agency.
So, yeah.
They're not as good as people are making it to seem.
I feel like you're saying that because you don't think Drew Holiday is as good as.
No, I think Drew Holiday's a tremendous player. He's an All NBA level defender and almost an All Star level scorer. Like he's an amazing player, but I'm saying I don't think they're as good because they're shipping out a whole lot of pieces.
But they haven't.
And
technically, they haven't though.
No, they haven't yet because the Bogdanovich deal fell out, and Bogdanovich is looking out elsewhere. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I felt like the main thing they messed up was not re-signing Wesley Matthews.
Wesley Matthews is a good player.
He was a great player for their bench to have.
He can shoot the 3-ball. He's consistent with the 3-ball, which is extremely important, and he's a consistent good defender.
Exactly. Like, because the thing is,
literally the perfect 3-and-D player.
The playoffs is a 7 to 8 man rotation. When you get to actual rotation, he's part of that 7 to 8 man rotation.
Yeah.
So it was like he would have been a great fit to have, but yeah, them losing him is actually the thing I know because other than that, if they kept him, it's basically like they lost Eric Bledsoe for Drew Holiday because I think George Hill's on that decline fully. I think he's gone next year. But Eric Bledsoe for Drew Holiday.
They've lost to George Hill. They've lost Wesley Matthews. They have a couple players going out, and not a whole lot of players coming in.
But essentially, I think it's the win.
I do understand what you're saying about what those players not being star players or great players, but still they are vital pieces to the team.
But they haven't lost as much depth due to not trading for Bogdanovich. Like, they have those 3 guys.
Yeah, they haven't
Devencio,
lost massive depth yet.
Eliasova, and like DJ Wilson or something. So they still have them.
Those three players.
Do they have Thon Maker?
Um, I think they do still.
He's nothing, but it's okay. Um, I mean, yeah, they still have a good team to run it back. They're all right. I think they can. I think they have the roster to do the damage. I think someone like Drew Holiday, his value that he could bring to the team is a bit more than expected.
Yeah.
Maybe if they can have like one or two more guys just like bench something, then they're a finals team right now. They are a finals winning capable team.
Winning capable, but not finals winning team. I don't think they will make it past the Eastern
I don't think
Conference.
they're going to win the finals. They have to go through the Heat. No one's going through the Heat. But I think they can win the finals if they miraculously, magically, somehow manage to pull off an upset.
Yeah.
If they can do that, then yeah, I think they're one of the three teams in the East that I think could win the finals.
I think 3 teams is fair. Yeah.
But I think my three teams are different from your three teams.
You're saying Nets, Sixers, Celtics? How do you think? I mean, I don't think the Celtics did anything to improve. They basically lost Gordon Hayward for free. They got Tristan Thompson, but what is Tristan Thompson going to do? He's a low IQ player. All he's good at is offensive rebounding and defensive rebounding.
He can play defense.
And he's a blocking threat on the defense. He can't guard perimeter players, as we've seen time throughout.
What did they need? What was the missing piece?
Interior defense was their missing piece, I guess. But they've also lost Gordon Hayward, who's a massive. He was a pretty big contender.
I'll say this. I think if they had Tristan Thompson in that series, even without Gordon Hayward, it would have been more interesting.
No, I agree with you. I mean, it could have gone to Game 7 if they had Tristan Thompson. Or they might have even won it if they had Tristan Thompson. But they got Tristan Thompson. They lost Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, that's true.
For free, too. They lost Gordon Hayward for free. They could have traded him to someone.
But to what extent was, no offense, but I don't think he's worth as much as he's making.
Gordon Hayward? I definitely don't think he's worth $30 million.
And though he was like, he to be a 2-3 scheme like the Heat played, 2-3, right? Yeah, 2-3 scheme. It was, you have to run the ball through the center with a dude that can play in the middle of the like in that free court, free throw area that can pass the ball around. He was that guy on the team that could do that. That's why I believe if he was there, it would have been more interesting too.
He was there though.
Okay, but how much is an injured guy capable? Especially someone like Hayward, who is very great, but isn't probably at that physical prowess mental level.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it's like he was there, but like it's not as much. Like Goran Dragic in that final game, he was there, but like he wasn't Goran Dragic.
Goran Dragic got paid $18.5 million
per year.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
But it's a 2-year deal with a 1+1, so he's got a team option in the second year. And I think personally he's the greatest point guard. He's the greatest point guard the Miami Heat have ever had. He's overtaken Tim Hardaway as the best point guard in franchise history. And I think he deserves that. I think he deserves that 1-year deal. That 1 year, $18.5 million. Just give him a big 1-year deal to show appreciation, because we're not adding any big pieces this year anyway.
That's a big deal to you. $18.5 million for what he's not only done but had to go through.
How much do you want to give him though? Like, he's a 35-year-old player.
I feel like, okay, this is what I'll say. I feel like the 1+1 shouldn't have been a team option. He deserved to have the player.
No, it's a team option for sure. Because what they can do next year, if it's a team option, is they opt him out of his contract, get the big marquee free agent they've been hoping on, and then re-sign him to a longer, smaller contract.
I believe he deserved that power. No. To say, I want to do this.
I get respecting a player, but the team comes first.
Actually, no. I got something to say here. I hear so much on LeBron because he apparently disrespected Pat Riley
Yeah.
when Pat Riley went to re-sign him.
Yes.
Then shouldn't we be mad at the Heat organization for how they treated Goran Dragic? Because it hasn't. No, don't think it's. Don't say it's been the greatest way of treating him. They brought him here. You remember what you know what I'm talking about. They brought him here.
They brought him here in a trade. Traded 6 first-round draft picks for him.
Okay, but that after they got him though, there's been some questionable moves where they tried to develop guys over him and what he's done for the team.
He's taken so many sacrifices as a team. I'm not denying that, but I'm saying how much more do you want to give him? 18.
I feel like I'm just realizing this. I'm just thinking about this, and I feel like it's a bit of hypocriticism. Blah, blah, blah.
Hypocrite.
I feel like we're being a bit of a hypocrite, kind of, to an extent. Hypocritical, yeah, because we're saying, hey, screw you, LeBron, for backstabbing Riley, but also we're saying, hey, it's okay that you had to go through this because now it's a great story for him.
Listen, what LeBron did to Pat Riley is he called him for contract negotiations in Las Vegas. Pat Riley booked a flight from Miami to go to Las Vegas, and after he went there, instead of doing contract negotiations with Pat Riley, he was watching or playing a video game.
He was watching the World Cup.
Yeah, he was watching a World Cup. Is that proper to do? Is that professional?
I'm not arguing for LeBron in this case. I feel like that's a situation where he messed up.
It
should be held against him so much.
All right, yeah.
To the extent
what they did for Goran Dragic, did you see what they did for Goran Dragic? They put up billboards in his hometown in Slovenia. He did? Yeah.
After what he did for them, or after the trade?
After this to re-sign him this offseason, they put up billboards in Slovenia, thanking him and telling him that his second family will always be the Heat and they'll always be there for him. And Jimmy Butler personally recruited him because they're basically best
Jimmy Butler offered to kill him offered to threaten him.
He said if I don't, I didn't want Jimmy to run around me. He's crazy, is what Goran said. But team chemistry is off the roof. I'll say that. But I think $18.5 million is a lot for a $35 million.
Oh, I'm not on that anymore. I think that's a good money. I just think I think he deserved to have the player option. I believe he deserved to have the power in his hands.
Team comes first, man. Speaking about teams coming first, we were talking about this the other day, right?
Okay. Yeah.
I told you that the Bucks were getting better. No. And I told you.
No. What'd you say? Your dream scenario.
Wait, hold on.
You had a dream of the Bucks getting fined for tampering, losing to Bogdanovich, then losing out on Holiday 2, and losing their first round picks.
I just said that would be hilarious.
Let's see the Bucks get screwed up now.
Yeah, I thought it would be hilarious. I thought it would.
No. It wasn't. You didn't say hilarious. You said it would be a dream situation.
It would be. Because listen, that means one less contender in the East to make it to the final.
Don't
more success for my favorite team.
Don't try to twist this your way and say hilarious. Hilarious would have meant what I said after wouldn't be okay. For a dream scenario, that's when you twist. That's when you're nah. But yeah, continue on.
All right, but is it wrong for a person that's a fan of a particular team to not particularly hope for?
Don't say like that. You were dreaming of them not having him.
I wasn't dreaming of it. I was just saying it would be a perfect situation. You can look up the chat history. I didn't say I dreamt of it. I just said that it would be a perfect situation for the Heat.
Bucks get punished for tampering in the Bogdanovich deal, period. The punishment is that they lose picks, the Holiday deal falls through. Highly unlikely, but I like to dream.
All right. But is it wrong? My question here is it wrong for a fan of a team to quote unquote hope for another team's failure in order for their own personal team to succeed?
Hope for their failure in acquiring and getting better and having them not only be able to make deals but also losing things such as picks. That is it's not like a team's losing a player. It's like you're getting in trouble. Like you're saying, I want them to get in trouble too.
I didn't want him to get in trouble. I just said
you specifically also said the punishment is that they lose picks for the Bogdanovich deal. This is based on what you said. If you said it any other way, I would say otherwise. My thing is here, I don't want to see them just get screwed over just for us to win. This is where I'm going to sound like
argue is that you don't want to.
This is where I'm going to sound like a crack addict because I didn't fully explain my argument. I'm going to sound like a crack addict. Trust me, I'm not on drugs. I think the Heat are way greater than what people recognize them for. And the thing is, because people are going to be like, oh, well, they didn't even win the finals. And yes, they didn't win the finals.
And then people also argue that they only went to the finals.
Are you talking Mr. Dreamer about having other teams fail? No, I'm talking. The thing is, yes, it's an excuse, but also it's like, yes, the Lakers won. But without us having Goran and Bam, I think if we have them fully healthy, like Goran was injured before, Bam was injured before that, Jimmy was injured before that.
Yeah.
Like the only guy that wasn't our best guy not injured was, and everyone's injured in playoffs. That's how it is. I'm not saying like even Anthony Davis was there, but like they were injured to an extent that was like way worse. Our best player not injured was young boy Tyler, but even there's extents to where he can push. But I felt like even with the refs against them, that's an excuse. The team, like if the team plays in a bunch of fair games, them in history, they won't go down as possibly the greatest team ever. But like think about the Heat. What can't they do?
You're straying away from the argument.
No, because I want you. This is all part of my argument.
All right.
What can't they do? They can shoot the 3-ball.
They have basically everything: interior defense, outside shooting, interior offense, playmaking abilities from their bigs, their guards, their forwards, everything.
What other team can do that at the level that they could at every single thing?
I don't think any team could. They have an extremely well-balanced team.
Ever? No, I'm saying in history.
Oh, well, I don't know about that because.
Oh, the Warriors. The Warriors could.
They basically played Warrior-style basketball. To be honest,
the Warriors could shoot the 3-ball, but they couldn't really score as much in the paint as you would say.
They had pretty decent interior scorers: Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston.
Pretty decent. I'm saying at the level that we were able to. Jimmy Butler's game is in the paint. Bam's game is a good offensive game in the paint. Goran's game is more in the paint. KD's a mid-range. So even they, like, everything that he can do, like, everything. I'm saying, like, when you think of these teams, no one does it at the level that we could for every single thing.
All right, sure.
We have a guy that can lock down your best guy. We have 2 guys that can do that.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what position they play. They can get locked down. They cannot get locked down, but they will be stopped to...
They will be limited. Yeah.
They will be limited to what a human can do. He can do, like... I don't think people understand the essence of what they can do. They could do.
They definitely are undervalued. Because...
But I think, no, you undervalue them to what I value them to. Like, what I value them as is a historical team. Not historical, like, they're the best team ever. I'm saying, like, this is why I sound like a crack addict, but a
historically well-balanced team.
Top 10 team ever. That's why I sound like a crack addict, but I genuinely think that.
I don't know about that, but I'd have to look through...
I would say...
Historical
maybe not top 10 ever, but I feel like in terms of this era, they could be recognized as one of the best ever.
Maybe.
This era. But the thing is, if we don't play as tough a competition, right, then we don't get that chance. Because people are always going to say, oh, well, that competition wasn't as good.
But I want
that because I believe they will win. I want them to have the toughest competition.
That's what I'm saying. I don't really care if my team beats a lottery pick team or my team beats a championship level team. A W is a W. I don't care.
In other cases, yeah. But for what I believe this,
I don't care about historical aspect. They get a ring. They get a ring. That's all I want. Just a ring. That's ring.
Since I care about historical aspect, I want them to face it toughest, because when people talk about the Heat one day, like they talk about MJ versus LeBron, I want them to put respect on their name and not just say they beat a team, the 8th team to win the championship. No one ever, No one will ever want to say that. We beat the 8th seed to win the championship. What, you spoiled the Cinderella
Team
run?
got to the championship. They're definitely the best team that came out of the West that year.
Okay, let's say this. The Blazers managed to get there. We know that's never going to happen.
And the Blazers are the best team that came out of the West.
Can you wait? Can you
They are
wait?
the best team that year.
Can you wait?
All
Let's
right.
say the Blazers made it this year, right?
Okay.
The reason they made it is because AD and LeBron got injured first round.
Cool.
Second round, who'd they face? The Rockets. James Harden, Russell Westbrook. James Harden got injured.
All right.
And then conference finals, Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic got injured.
Cool. They're still the best team to come out of the West that year.
They won
You
the
made it
Western
to the
Conference. They
finals.
won the Western Conference.
Yes, you are the best team to come out of the West that year. If you come at, that's my thing. I think that the team that wins the championship is the best team coming into the next year, unless proven otherwise.
Okay, but the
The
thing is,
team that
but then also here's the thing though. When you talk about historically, you're not going to recognize them as great. Like, because at the end of the day, if you want to say every Western Conference champion is yes, they are the best that year, but when you're comparing them, you can't just say they're all equal considering they won it once. You're going to recognize that one is greater than the other.
that's fair.
And when they're saying one is greater than the other, and then the Warriors are beating a Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant team to reach the finals, and we're being a Damian Lillard led team,
Yeah.
then it's just, I don't feel it. I got one last thing though, and that's the Warriors dynasty.
Yeah.
I don't think it's over.
Unless Clay comes back, I do think it is.
I think Clay will
All
come
right,
back.
but they do have good players this year. They have Kelly Oubre. They have James Wiseman. They have Andrew Wiggins. I think they might be able to make a push, but not to the extent which you may be thinking.
This year they won't. But the team isn't over. They're not like, okay, time to pack up, rebuild.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not. For sure.
Because maybe this year they won't be as good. That's why I don't believe in the Kelly Oubre trade as much. Because also, do you know how much they're actually paying for Kelly Oubre to be on the team?
I think it's like 19 million, right?
No, it's $60 million. Luxury tax. They're so far up that they're paying $60 million to have Kelly Oubre on the team.
No, they'll make some moves before the trade deadline to get under that cap for sure.
But think about it, like, if they don't,
Yeah, that's crazy though.
think about, like, because they're willing, like, the Warriors ownership is willing to pay the money to win. And I think that's kind of to show what they're willing to do.
Yeah.
They're willing to lose the money because there's no way they're making money off of that. And they're willing to lose the money now because they know what they're gonna do. But they have good assets. I think they should trade Wiggins personally. But maybe if he could develop.
He could.
With Curry, but they also have the Minnesota pick next year. Minnesota's gonna be bad, so it's all right. But that pick's gonna be amazing to have. So they have assets. They can trade them, and they'll have Clay come back. And Clay's the best player in the NBA, and that's just no cap. And on that note, that's the episode.
Thank you guys for listening. New episodes every. We're still deciding new episodes.
Whenever possible. Appreciate it.
Episodes whenever possible. That's fair. Hope you have a good one.
We should become a video podcast, but yeah.